Going to be overrated, underrated. So this is a segment that I've done with each guest, and basically it's rapid fire questions. I'm going to give you, it's kind of two different kinds of questions. I'm going to name a concept and you're going to say whether you think it's overrated or underrated. And then it also kind of comes into which of two things do you prefer.
Okay.
Right, okay.
I need to explain as well, or just say...
You can give a brief explanation, yeah.
Okay.
We won't go into detail too much anyway. Okay.
Coffee, overrated.
Absolutely. You know, I never finished the whole cup of coffee in my whole life.
Really?
I find it disgusting.
Yeah.
I eat dark chocolate instead.
Yeah, dark
That's
chocolate.
the secret.
Is it dark chocolate? Underrated. Coffee,
Okay.
overrated.
Absolutely.
So you have dark chocolate in substitute for coffee?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
It's also healthy.
Yeah,
So-
true. Okay. First one, overrated or underrated again. Okay, so we're going to say running with music.
Overrated.
Overrated. Okay,
Yes,
yeah, you
I
mentioned
always
before
run
you run
without.
with silence. Yeah.
Absolutely. No phone, no watch.
Why do you prefer that? Some people would think you're insane for doing that, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually prefer to do running just to clear my mind.
Okay.
And for me, it's mental relaxation.
Do you think in order to clear your mind, you need to let it sit on its own in silence
Yeah,
for a while?
yeah,
Okay.
just enjoy the environment, the sounds, the nature around, and think about nothing.
Love it.
And what, once not being with noise,
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Okay. Theoretical understanding, meaning against like more practical knowledge, do you think? Yeah.
Overrated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
During my study, I had a lot of theoretical classes actually. And I applied the knowledge, but I couldn't apply directly. I learned most just by doing.
Okay.
And if you want to actually build stuff, just get your hands out and do it. And not think too much about all the equations behind.
Yeah, you got to know how to apply it, how to
Yes.
use your knowledge.
Okay. The Norwegian space industry.
Underrated.
Okay.
Underrated.
They're doing some exciting things, you think?
Yes, absolutely. With their launch sports and such,
Yeah.
and they're also having a big satellite network.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you surprised about that as well when you went to Norway?
Yeah.
How developed the space industry is? Because to be very honest, I personally haven't heard too much about the Norwegian space industry. So maybe you could just tell us a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
was
more.
actually really surprised. Also in the news, you only hear about the Swedish launch port, and all Europeans think that they're going to
Yeah,
be
just
earlier.
as
They
range,
have much better promotion, but Andoya might be the first. So, Ooh.
That'd be exciting.
yeah,
Excited to see.
Okay. IAC. Is your impression so far overrated or underrated?
underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I knew it was big before,
Yeah.
but not this big. It's
No.
huge, actually.
Yeah,
It's
it's quite overwhelming. at
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
How many people are here?
I heard like 8,000.
11,000?
How much?
11,000?
11,000.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
The
yeah.
exhibition halls are crazy at technical
Yeah.
sessions all the time.
We're seeing
Yeah.
like crazy, like the next commercial space stations, or the first commercial space stations.
Displayed, yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible. Okay, underrated.
Okay. Cycling culture in the Netherlands.
Underrated. I think every country should do it.
Interesting. Okay.
It's so convenient to be just independent, to get your bike, get around.
Yeah, no, you just told me before recording the podcast that your brother is running a marathon on Sunday.
Yes.
And you want to go and support him, of course, and, ride your bike alongside him. And you're planning on getting there with your bike.
Yes, that's true. So I first have to bike 20 kilometers to get to the marathon location in Amsterdam. And then I'm not sure, I won't cycle the whole route with him, but I just want to be at certain support points. And he told me there's likely no way to cross the course. So going around, that will be also 42 kilometers for me. And back. So
In the Netherlands, you
I
don't
have two
cars.
marathons, more than 80 probably.
The bike makes it possible. Okay, yeah, so very good.
Multitasking.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Or,
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's good to do multiple things, but to keep the focus while you're doing it.
Okay.
So maybe during the day, overrated, I would say.
I like
But
that.
just having multiple projects running in general, I think
Right.
it's underrated.
Okay, very good. I like that.
Okay. Remote work.
Overrated.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like it. I just want to be with people,
Yeah.
and if half of it is present, half of it is not,
Mm.
that's just really inconvenient.
Mm.
Do you feel like you learn more from people, or is it just to break up your day a little bit, or to talk about what you've been doing to get advice?
Yeah, but
How's it
also
looking?
just having coffee breaks with them to get to know them personally and not only talk about work.
Mm.
And I also see that by talking regularly, you touch upon issues that would not have been discussed otherly if you only reach out for them if you need them.
Mm.
And I don't like computer screens in general.
Very good.
Have you done much remote work? It sounds like everything's been in person.
Yeah, so far my jobs, yes.
Yeah.
But during COVID, of course, I studied remotely.
Mm.
I didn't really like
sucked
it.
for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. Public transport in Norway.
Ooh, overrated. There's almost none.
Really?
I never used it. Which
no one
public
really-
transport?
Would
Yeah.
you use your bike, or how do you?
I used my well when the snow was gone, I got a bike indeed,
Okay.
and I got to use the company car during the weekends. And
Could you ski, like cross-country skiing?
Yes,
also
yes,
as a mode
yes.
of transport in the winter.
not as a mode of transport for fun, yes.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Living in capital cities. Have you lived in a capital city before?
I've been in capital cities, but
Yeah.
not lived. But I would
Okay.
say overrated.
Really? Okay.
Well, many people want to live in a city. I don't know because it's just prestigious or because the companies are there.
Mm.
I enjoy life much more outside of that.
Okay. Fiction or non-fiction books?
Reading overrated.
Reading in general?
I don't read that
Really?
much. No,
Interesting.
actually, I like reading. I would love to do it more, but I have
Yeah.
dyslexia, so for me it's hard. I like to listen to audiobooks sometimes, but yeah, sometimes I just prefer to work on my own stuff or to go out running and to clear my mind instead of sitting down and
Reading. I love that because you just wrote a children's book.
yeah.
So saying reading.
Yeah,
already,
no,
I like that.
literature I wouldn't have been able to.
I appreciate that.
Can I ask, relating to your dyslexia, do you visualize things in your mind quite strongly? Is
Yes.
that in replacement, or like, so you can kind of manipulate objects in your head quite easily?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
interesting. Yeah, because I can imagine it makes sense that not everyone would have that same ability. But do you think you have quite a strong visual, ability like that? Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. It's mainly auditory as well. So
Auditory.
if I hear something, for example,
Yeah.
it will be very hard for me to reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
Also with pronunciation,
Mm.
I probably say many words not how they are supposed to be.
Okay.
And you can tell me 100 times, but it's just very difficult. I don't hear the difference.
Okay.
I was also raised bilingual actually in 2 languages.
Okay.
And it completely failed. I made my own language when I was 4. I took the shortest word from each, and
Oh.
nobody, even my
Combined.
mom speaking both, couldn't understand me. And
So
Wow.
what was the other language?
it was Russian.
Oh,
My mom is
Russian.
from Ukraine, yeah.
Oh my god. Wow.
Very interesting. That's very cool. So you can
Wow.
still pick up a bit of the language, you just can't speak
very,
it.
very little. I don't understand it if she's talking even.
Okay.
I almost dropped out of primary school. The teachers thought, oh, this child is not that smart. She actually has to go to education for disabled children.
Oh, wow.
And
Look at you
well, I
now.
couldn't talk. I was 5 years old, and
Yeah.
then
Wow.
they told my mom to speak only Dutch with me. Well, then
Okay.
I learned reading, writing, and
Yeah.
speaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
And now you might become an astronaut. So, I mean,
maybe yeah.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
languages is not my strongest point. I almost dropped out of high school as well. While in the Netherlands, we have to learn French, German, Dutch, English,
Oh, God.
and Spanish. So 5 insufficient grades plus history.
So you always have been very much into STEM.
Yes,
Subjects,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And you still wrote a kid's book. Absolutely incredible. I love that.
Do you think school could be reworked so that students should work kind of only on what they love and what they're the best at?
I think not only, but just to take courses on a different level, that would already help a lot.
Yeah.
Or not put the focus so much on languages and
Yeah.
reading and such.
So you need to study that so much.
Yeah,
And it's
well, I
just,
was actually the worst student until I started university.
right. And you know you're not going to use it in your life, or you hope not anyway. Like
No.
5
no.
languages at once, yeah, that's
Yeah.
rough. Yeah.
Do you feel like high school prepared you for your life after high school, for university, or for what you wanted to do?
No, not really.
Mm.
I think the physics was very bad actually.
Okay.
I didn't learn vectors, for example, or anything mechanical,
Mm.
aerospace direction.
Mm. So you learned
So
it in
no,
university.
I would say more focus on a bit of everything and pick interest a little earlier.
Mm.
What about college then? I know there's a pretty diverse range of college structures. Do you think people need to go to college to be an engineer, for example?
No, I don't think so. Or I think they need actually just to get the basic knowledge.
Yeah.
But maybe a bachelor's already would be enough to go out in the field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Degrees are overvalued, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, but it's also a way to prove yourself that you've learned a lot,
Yeah.
to challenge yourself. I was often challenged in my degree as well.
Sure. And maybe the network that you might be able to
Yeah,
build.
and the network.
And the initiatives like the solar car. And
Yeah, that all wouldn't have come indeed
Yeah.
if I wouldn't have gone through all the courses.
Yeah, very
And
good.
also a way to find your passion.
Sure. Very good.
Okay. Minimalism as a lifestyle.
Overrated.
Okay. You don't
Yeah.
have a minimalist
No,
lifestyle.
I
Not a
try to
fan.
do as much as possible in one day.
Mm.
Fair. But in terms of like,
Possessions.
possessions, do you have many of those, or do you like to keep it minimal?
Possessions?
Yeah, like your phone, wallet.
Like
keys.
things that you
Oh.
own.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, or like your
No,
house,
no,
your
no,
bedroom.
that's-
It's a
or-
very
Overrated. I prefer
to.
to have many things.
Okay.
And as little as possible on my phone. I just bought a stopwatch, for example, a physical one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just not to use my phone all the time.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I like doing things on paper as well.
Okay.
If I have to make notes,
Yeah.
paper, pencil.
Yeah. And when you travel light, usually, right?
I
well,
try
no,
to.
no, when
We're
you're
not taking
your books.
20
You.
books, yeah.
So I'm getting some maximalist vibes from you. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
maybe,
okay.
actually. That can be,
Fair. If you can do it, some people can't handle it. So.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. The value of, or the importance of luck in success.
Ooh, how you look.
No, your luck, your fortune.
Like,
Ooh.
do you need to be like lucky?
Overrated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's always a part of luck for it, but you also have to create it yourself.
Mm.
So grab all the chances you get, but also create the chances you don't have and just look out for everything what's there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also increase chances by just making sure you have the good background and the good skills to go for it.
And do you think you need to work hard in order to get what you want?
Not always, but just work disciplined
Mhm.
and efficient.
Mm. Perfect.
Okay.
And don't do things you don't want to do.
I like
Don't
that.
spend
Yeah.
time on bullshit.
I like that.
Okay. Intuition in decision making. So like gut feeling versus, logical decision making.
Underrated.
Okay. You
Yeah.
think it's important? Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah, I think a passion or something that really comes from the inside.
Mm.
And you cannot always think like, I have to do this because it's good for my career or so. Sometimes you just have to do what you really want to do. And then you become really good at it just by yourself.
I think that kind of links to what you said earlier. Just focus on the things that you want to do and just, scrap all the other bullshit. Like, don't do it just for the, because
Yeah.
you need to do it on paper, but focus on what you want to do.
Even if you think it might not lead to the best result.
Yeah, I
Just
think
follow the
eventually
passion,
on the long term it will lead to the best results. Or at least for you.
Yeah.
Dependent on what's best, what others thinks is best might not be the best for you.
Very
Also, when I was in high school, for example, all people really admired everyone who's going to study medical sciences and become a doctor. And yeah, that might be best for them and very prestigious. But for me, that's not what in my eyes could be the best I can achieve. So it's all very objective and just follow your own path.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Public speaking skills.
Phew. I'm not the best public speaker actually, so I would say underrated.
Underrated.
I really
okay.
want to improve with it.
Okay, cool. well, this is a good way to improve, maybe.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
And
absolutely.
you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Like, it's, impressed.
Yeah,
Why do
but
you
this
think it's
is more
important?
like talking. This
Yeah,
is more
true,
like
true,
talking.
true,
Yeah,
true.
I think it's important to pass on your knowledge to others,
Mm.
and I feel I could maybe improve with that, just to, yeah, be less afraid to share it and just speak up. I can be a bit shy sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Very good.
Networking for career advancement.
underrated.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's why we're here, right?
Yeah,
IIC?
yeah, it's- True.
Networking is key, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always tell it to you, but I didn't realize that it can be that concrete as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
For example, just getting a business card from a company I want to
Yeah.
work on, and they say, just contact
Mm.
me and I can look for you for a job.
Yeah.
I didn't know it can go in that way before.
Yeah.
I thought if you're good, if your CV stands out, you just apply
Mm.
and you get the job you want.
Yeah.
But-
those personal connections you make face
Yeah.
to face.
Face to face, yeah.
And I
that's
already
really
feel
underrated.
like, you know, it's been like 3 days at IC and you
Yeah.
kind of had a plan of what you wanted to do after, but now you know, approached so many different people, you get business cards and different
Yeah.
ideas, offers of what you could work on, just absolutely
Yeah.
broadens your horizon.
Although I have to say, all the jobs I got so far were just through the normal application.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I never got
Interesting.
a job through networking yet.
Okay, not yet.
But it also helps to find out what's there, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
Early morning routines.
Overrated.
Oh.
Yes.
But you get up early quite often, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm very active. I have active lifestyle. I'm
Mm.
thinking a lot. So I also need my rest.
Sure.
Actually, let's get into it. Like, how does a normal day for you look like?
Phew. If I could choose, I get up quite late,
Okay.
even 8 to 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
if I could decide it myself.
Mhm.
I have 1 hour morning, well, you can call it routine, but it's just having a very big breakfast. I don't function without cold shower and a very, very big breakfast.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just get to work straight to the point. I
Mm.
usually have a to-do list to keep track of all the things, well, else I keep forgetting about it.
Mm.
And I just start to think what needs to be done first
Mm.
and just do it. Also, don't stress. I have very little stress, I think. I
Mm.
just know what to do. And
Yeah.
I know taking energy and time to think about everything that's on the list doesn't help.
Mm.
Just start with the first point and get it done.
Yeah, very nice. And you like to sleep a lot.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I need it, else
How many
I'm
hours?
useful.
How many hours of sleep do you need?
I try to get 8 hours a day,
Okay.
but sometimes
That's
that's
ambitious.
less. And during the weekend, then I can sleep for very long.
Mm.
I mean, people can say I'm lazy, but I get up and I do a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You get up and you start the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get smashing.
Okay, last one then. Physical books versus ebooks.
Books, overrated.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But I
Books
think
and-
I would prefer a physical book if I
Okay.
had a choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So we're back on books
I
now.
like that.
Yeah.
Books are overrated.